Hello, Marlon Winston Gibbs here, founder CEO of Miracle Inc. And today I wanted to talk about clairvoyancy. Um, your clairvoyant abilities is a advanced, um, intuitive ability. It goes along with your discernment as well, like I always say. Yeah, so basically, how you, I'll give you the theoretic breakdown, if you will. So, how you get into clairvoyant energy. Okay, so like I always say, right? You're born with a purpose, right? Like I said, like your 3D, your 5D, and your spiritual purpose are all aligned from birth, right? So with that being said, okay, you know, ancient times, right? Back ancient times, right? These were like all talents and gifts that were given to mankind because you got to remember, like in the evolution, right? Um, in the whole, history of mankind, um, like we didn't have no, like I say all the time, like we didn't have no, you know, classes or, any sort of orchestrated structure to, be abundant in life. You know what I mean? Like, and with that being said, like I always say, the creator, God, he didn't put us here to struggle, he put us here to evolve and go through challenges and obstacles to learn and move forward as as mankind, right? But he didn't put us here to, I promise you, he didn't put us here to suffer. He didn't put us here to suffer. He didn't put us here to second guess yourself, right? He put us here with biological tools to have, like I always say, clarity and direction to your abundant purpose, right? So, with that being said, this is not where you get into clairvoyant energy. Okay, so I always say again, too, these abilities, right? They're gifts. They're gifts, guys. These are gifts, and it all starts with being karmically correct. You know what I mean? These things are not inhabitable. They, they will not activate. They will not be useful if you're not in the right energy. Okay? So, getting to the right energy now, right? And, you're karmically correct. Your spiritual hygiene's up. And again, these are sort of practices for more of a spiritual being. Like, you got to kind of be at one with yourself and have a higher conscious and stuff like that. Like these things are sort of like, they go with this whole sort of method or practice, right? So you really have to, like, be at one with yourself. You know what I mean? Like meditation and stuff like that is always good, right? So, but okay, so once you're, all aligned, like I said, everything's all aligned karmically and everything like that. Now, and your discernment, right? Your discernment, like I say, is your angel guides, like I always say, right? And when I say angel guides, ancestors, God, all of them, right? So now when you're in alignment with your actual abundant purpose, okay? And your discernment's strong, right? Remember, I'm giving you a theoretic. So you guys aren't going to be able to do this right now. It's just, this is just like a cool, incentive to sort of maybe, work towards, another grateful attribute that comes with being in the light. And, it's something that, once you discover it about yourself, it's pretty cool and it makes sense, right? So, okay, so, right, again, so now you're in line, right, with your path, right? And again, your discernment is strong with God and everything like that. So now, right, now you have to remember, you're in alignment with your already birthright path. You know what I mean? Like, I promise you, like, you're abundant. You're abundant one, not the distracted one, which we all go through, right? I'm just saying, right? Not, your abundant path is already written in stone. So for instance, Lionel Messi, right? Or like, Cristiano Ronaldo, those were abundant paths. We can, clearly agree that those are two highly skilled athletes. And again, that was their abundant path. So when you're in line with your abundant path now, okay, and you're in one with God and everything, now you start to discern clairvoyant signals, patterns, signs, provisions, epiphanies, and dreams. But there's levels to it, right? Like, you always have to, like with spirituality, okay? And this is the thing, guys, okay? This is the thing with spirituality. Again, the consciousness, right? But the way to always approach spirituality, it's always with a positive foot. You have to have a gratefulness and thankfulness in your sort of conscious meditation practice, if that makes sense, right? So what that means is you're taking all of this like with rationale, and like a positive, happy spirit about you. Do you know what I mean? Right? Like, again, we're not here to be in any negativity. So again, you're in your purpose, right? You have a positive attitude, right? Again, now you're, we're fast forwarding, we're talking theoretic now. Like, again, you're not going to be able to do it right now, but I'm just saying, now once you're, discovering these abilities, now you're in clairvoyant energy. So again, because your story is already written for you, right? Now you're able to get communication. Do you know what I mean? Because you're now in path with your story that was already written for you. Do you know what I mean? So, right? And again, it's like a conscious, you gotta be in the consciousness, guys. I wanted to do this video a little later, but I wanted to get it out of the way, right? Because it sort of falls in line with the discernment and intuition and everything like that. You got to be in a state of mind, like a real knowing about yourself and a consciousness, right? Okay, so, and again, it's with a positive foot forward, right? So once you get into this energy now, right? And you're able to be calm and you're able to, you'll be able to, communicate. And remember, okay, clairvoyancy, okay, these gifts and abilities are for your abundant purpose and self-preservation. So they all are directly for you, right? So you're not getting any sort of conscious understanding of what color car you're getting next, in a sense, right? You're not getting, you're not getting like a name. Like say, I don't know, like I said, you might have an interest in mind, right? You're not getting a name, right? It's an energy you're getting, right? So through that energy, right? Now, when you get that discernment, which is coming through your intuition, right? So it's a feeling, right? Boom, you have the feeling. Now, when you have the feeling, again, you heard that goose just, made a noise. That could have been a signal to me being exactly right with what I was just saying to you guys. Do you know what I mean? So it's that philosophy. Again, it's with a positive foot forward. So I'm not saying, you know what I mean? But these are sort of abilities. And I'm not saying I'm a master at it, guys. I'm just sort of like, I'm giving you tidbits and bits of it, as I'm learning, right? So, this is, again, when you're in one with the universe. Now you're in line with your actual abundant path, right? You're karmically correct, right? And again, go back to ancient times. No cell phones, no, and these abilities, guys, they're in animals and everything too, right? So you got to think of an animal, like a wolf or something, right? How does he know, right, to come to Earth, right? And then to find a mate, right? Have a family, and then, pretty much, hunt and defend his cubs and family and whatever, and how does he know what direction to go in and what's good to eat, what's not good to eat, and, how does he know that? You know what I mean? It's his discernment. The wolf has discernment. You know what I mean? His intuition, and wolves, they don't get caught up in emotions and in social aspects of life, right? Obviously, right? So they're born and they go right into their purpose. They're abundant. It's easier for animals, right? Obviously, right? So, yeah, it's the same thing like a wolf. You know what I mean? Like, we have that in us, So again, once you're in your abundant path, right? And, yeah, like I said, you get provisions, you get signs, signals, like, you have different, sequences and patterns that, like I said, it's a conscious, positive approach, to sort of, having direction and clarity to your purpose. And it sounds so simple. And like I said, these things are taught like, okay, well, only certain people can do them. But I promise you guys, like, these are like, ancient gifts that mankind is born with, But a lot of this stuff gets stripped away with technology and, the evolution of, innovative thinking and So, I just wanted to kind of, not go too crazy into it. Like I said, I'm going to touch about these things from all different angles. But, yeah, man, it's a pretty cool, understanding. Like I said, it's advanced, you know what I mean? So it's not something you're going to sort of pick up tomorrow or today. But, again, these are like, ancient gifts, right? So, you got to think about like emperors, emperors and empresses that were like leading their, tribe or whatever, right? This is how they knew where to go to get food. They didn't have they just knew by the sun and the, the lay of the land. Like, if there was vegetation to the north, or, if there was water in, bodies of waters or ocean or, rivers or seas to the south, they had this intuitive ability and discernment to sort of have a open conscious to direct them through life. You know what I mean? For their abundant purpose and preservation. Like all these things, guys, are like in our body, literally in our body. So you got to look at it like this, okay? We were born from the beginning of time, like I say, always from the creator, everything like that, right? To basically be self-sufficient, everything, intelligent, everything, without, like, obviously it would have been done in a old world way. Like, it wouldn't have been modern, but I'm just saying, as mankind, obviously, I mean, this is obviously known, we have the talents and gifts inside of our vessel, inside of our body, to pretty much operate at a balanced, high vibrational, abundant, existence, naturally, off of our, own abilities and own talents, right? So, yeah, I just think it's, very important that people know this stuff. Like, for instance, this is another, like, just whatever. I'll give a couple examples, right? Just to kind of like make it a little bit more clear. Say a kid, he's getting ready to get drafted to the NHL. You know what I mean? And he has a couple teams that he's interested in, but he doesn't know for sure which one, But his family, they, like I said, they're with God, they're really karmically correct, you know what I mean? And it's like, there's gut feelings and then there's provisions. Like, or like I said, different clairvoyant patterns and signs and signals, right? And, when you're intuitively dialed in, you know what I mean? And you understand these things, you're able to pick up. So for instance, like, they might have a couple teams that were interested in them, but they intuitively right? Okay, they intuitively, okay, have a epiphany, or a like a clairvoyant visual, okay, and or you know like I said, it could be dreams, or it could be it could be a number of different things. You know what I mean? You can research some of this stuff yourself, right? But like I said, that's one of the clairvoyant abilities. It's just having a real strong, like it's like it's so strong that every time you think of it, you're getting a sign. Like it can be and it's like clear, it can be, like I said, it could be that, it could be numbers, it could be you happen to start seeing it on whatever, like, but again, it's a rational perception of it, right? But like I said, when you have that intuitive ability with yourself, you like it, you know what I mean, right? It's clear, like you can, like they have a saying, okay, so when you have provisions, okay, the difference between provisions and like I said, like a provision is like a daydream, if you will, right? So you have provision, daydream, then you have like a night dream, right? When you have a provision, okay, this is the trick, okay? These are all little sort of important little knacks that go with it. So a provision is when you're like awake, you know what I mean? And you just have, like I say, an epiphany, a provision. And the difference between a dream, okay, and a provision is the dream, you'll have a visual, you'll have a visual. Like you can see whatever, I don't know, I had a dream last night that we were in Mexico and we were, on a yacht or something, or this and that, right? A provision is you're seeing it, like you're envisioning it, but you're not seeing it, you're hearing it. When I say you're hearing it, like your discernment, okay, is basically like, so it's, okay, when I say hearing it, let me take it back. Not hearing it, but you're thinking about it. Do you know what I mean? Like to where you're like hearing it. Do you know what I mean? Trying to explain it to you guys where you guys can really like pick it up. It's just a deep knowing, you know what I mean? It's a deep knowing, it's a provision. So pretty much, some guys, they kind of like, like if you have a, like, when they say you have a hunch and you sit there and you kind of ponder, you know what I mean? So that sort of energy, when you're in that pondering energy, the like overwhelming, just clear statement, or, like clear message, you know what I mean? Like clear message, clear feeling. Like when I say message, it's feeling, right? But it's brought into provision. Do you know what I mean? Like this is how, right? So it's pretty much like, and then this gets into levels and stuff like seers and stuff like that. So like, they're able to like, have clairvoyancy into the future and stuff like that. So that's pretty much just having, so this, like saying, guys, like, this stuff was all there for your, like I said, self-preservation and, abundant existence, right? So, yeah, clairvoyancy, you know what I mean? Basically, like I said, it's the part of your discernment. Like I said, when you're in your abundant path, right? So this is what I was saying to you guys, when I was saying to you guys about like Elon Musk, right? My lips, sorry. About Elon Musk. When I say these guys are dialed in, it's stuff like that. Like they are dialed in. Like these guys are dialed in. Like they know, like, like they know the patterns and what to look for. Like literally, they're that dialed in, guys. Like, okay, pretty much like this is what it is, guys. Okay, and I'm gonna sum it up because I don't want to go too crazy, because I want to break it down in sections, because you'll really just get lost and you'll get bored, really, right? I don't really want you to get too bored. So but guys, like spirituality, right, to like break it down in a scientific sort of like way, it's NASA. You know what I mean? It's NASA. That's what, like, you know, space and everything, that's what it's about. That's mankind's like obsession with the higher power. You know, like like these things are in stone. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, they don't teach it, you know, like, but it's like, that's why they like have like trillions and trillions of dollars into like, you know, space programs. You know what I mean? Because mankind has always known we are connected to all this stuff. Like I said, we're biological instruments, you know, right? Today, like, you know, I'm out in the sun, whatever, right? And it's like, you know, we're like plants, you know, like we thrive off of the elements of the earth and the universe. You know what I mean? So these talents and gifts were given to all of us, all living beings, like, you know, animals, like I said, animals, insects, you know, fish, like everything that's living has the same, you know, like, you know, so yeah, I just wanted to sort of touch on that, you know, super cool, you know what I mean? You know, we all have it, you know what I mean? It gives us our direction. There's levels to clairvoyancy as well, but I just wanted to like give the you know, general theoretic knowledge of it. You know, it's a like I said, it's an ancient biological gift that we were all we were born with. Like, God gave it to us. You know what I mean? To make sure that you know, we have the abundant communication that we'll need, like, you know, to you know, have the options and opportunities that you want to, you know, have in life to fulfill a happy and fulfilling purpose, right? To have all aspects of life, you know, to try everything. And when I say try everything that's, you know, healthy and conducive to your purpose, obviously, right? But yeah, man, clairvoyancy, you know, clairvoyancy. It's a healthy approach. You know, you pretty much got to go at it like with a like positive, like you know, like a positive, optimistic, a positive, optimistic attitude towards it. You know, like for instance, just say for instance, okay, you know, you're in sync. Like I said, everything, it only works when you're in sync, right? So you're in sync, whatever this, that, okay, and you think about your grandma or whatever, right? And right when you think about your grandma, you looked at the microwave and you seen 143, right? Okay, it's positive. You're here to be positive, right? You're in your abundant path. You thought about your grandma, 143. That was your grandma saying she loves you. I swear. Like, I swear. That was your grandma saying she loves you. You know what I mean? That was your grandma saying she loves you. You know? Or like, for instance, just another, like, just example or whatever, right? You know, you're in sync with your, you know, like I said, you're in sync with your, you know, with your practice and everything like that. And, you know, you have a big decision coming up. You know, you have a big decision coming up. And you kind of say, I want to know, you know, I want to know the energy. Remember, you're not going to get details. Like, it's not a detailed thing and stuff like that, right? I want to get the energy, right? Should I do this or should I not do this? What's the energy? Do you know what I mean? And again, with the clairvoyancy, now, right? Now, again, you think about that decision, right? You think about the decision of whatever that big decision is, whatever. Now you get a heavy, heavy, heavy intuitive feeling. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, you know, you get a heavy intuitive feeling, right? And then also, you know, like I said, in a healthy way. So it starts off with this feeling, right? So say, for instance, you were like, trying to put it in a, it's got to be health, because it's hard to like, you know, a lot of people don't know this, right? So I'm trying to put it in a way where you'll get it. Just say it like this, okay? Just for instance, this isn't like a necessary breakdown, but it could go like this, okay? say you were gonna buy a a corporate warehouse, okay? And the corporate warehouse had a red door, right? And your discernment and intuitive abilities were very high, okay? You know, you're in sync with your purpose, you're relaxed. Like I said, you have to have a relaxed consciousness about yourself with this stuff, guys, okay? And you want to buy the building. You want to buy the you want to buy the building, right? So, you know, you're mulling it over, you're going over it with yourself, you know, should I do it, this and that, right? And you got all the details and everything like that, so you have a clear idea and understanding of what is, entailing, with the purchase. And make a long story short, you now, like I say, you ask yourself. When I say ask yourself, you intuitively ask yourself. And it's a strong, it's a strong process. Like it might take a day. It might take a week, right? It might take an afternoon. But you ask yourself, you take the time. Like I said, the conscious, patient time, right? Now when you have that decision, right, in your head, whether it's yes or no, right? Now you envision that red door, right? You envision the red door, right? Now, when you envision the red door, like I said, it's not like a voice. It's like a thought, but it's so strong. Like it's strong. Like it's so strong, like someone's talking to you, but they're not. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. You got to be really skilled with this stuff, right? Now, you think of your decision. You think of the building, the red door. It's a provision, an epiphany, because, like I said, when you have an epiphany, it's when you have sort of a visual decision. Like, it's almost like you're like, I know for sure. That type of energy, right? So, again, you visualize the door, and your intuition is hitting you so hard. Like, so hard, right? And, again, this is a guy who knows. Like, once you're built into that, you know what I mean, sort of, energy, then you just know, because you can do it. You know what I mean? Like, you just know. That's what I'm saying. It's, these things seem like, oh, that's not really, but, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, this is more like it. People do these things, right? But they don't even notice they do them. Like, people do it all the time. Like, they picture going on a vacation with their wife or whatever, right? And then they're on vacation, whatever, a month later, and it was exactly like they pictured it. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, this is exactly what I was picturing. So it's like that. It's exactly like that, But these things are stronger when you're karmically correct, right? But yeah, like I said, you know what I mean? And these things were sort of built in us so we can make the right decision. Like that's legitimate discernment from the divine. You know what I mean? That's legitimate discernment from the divine. That was basically like, given to us biologically from birth. You know what I mean? Is your clairvoyant abilities, right? So I hope I, made some sense of it. It's a super cool intuitive ability, and I think I touched on it. This is another good one. Guys are into hockey. They're into sports. You know what I mean? Stanley Cup final, whatever is coming up or whatever. Just say, for instance, right? And there's a couple teams, whatever, 2 teams. I don't know. I'm not going to name any teams. But whatever, right? And, based on your knowledge of, hockey or whatever, your preference of teams or, you're always going to have a provision. You're going to have a provision. It's almost like you can see it. You can see the team holding the cup. You know what I mean? And some guys are irrational and they're off. Some guys like, whatever. Or maybe, you're going to be wrong maybe sometimes, right? But it's that sort of energy, Like, man, I knew it. And again, you didn't connect that clairvoyant ability with it. You're just kind of like, whatever, it was random that I knew it. But like, you know what I mean? That ability and that energy can be built, you know what I mean? Where you understand what's going on, you know what I mean? Where you can apply that in all aspects, like, the right move, the right, like I said, the right, situation, the right environment for yourself, you know what I mean? You're able to like envision it. And then you're envisioning it with a powerful intuitive confirmation. You know what I mean? And again, when I was talking about, I kind of got carried away with this, but again, it comes in all forms and fashions. You know, it comes in, like I said, it comes in, you know, signs, signals, patterns, you know, like, for instance, and again, it's a good feeling, a good energy. It's a good, you know, you got to be in a good vibration, a really good vibe. Like, it's, you know what I mean? It's like a real happy, you know. So, friends, let me give you another example. Let me give you another example. And these things don't work for negativity. Like I told you guys, fear is a lie, right? It doesn't exist, man. It's man-made. So, like, if fear, anyway, fear is a lie. So you have to know that. So that's why spirituality is the truth, the real spirit, and everything is positive and like fluffy. You know what I mean? And empathic and positive, you know, right? So you're in that energy, you know what I mean? So you always go at it, like I said, with a healthy, optimistic approach. Like I said, it can be, you know, like a sign and signal or pattern or frequency, right? Or sequence that's healthy to you, right? You can research those if you want, right? But like, yeah, you know, like I said, when you're in a nice healthy sync, you're working towards greatness. You know, like I said, like I always say, you have a positive outlook on life. You're karmically correct. You're in sync with your purpose, you know? This is where you start getting into these energies. You know, you start getting into these energies. It's clairvoyant signs, you know? And it's like this, guys. Once you're spiritual and you know you're doing good and you're on the right path, it's like you already know you're on the right path. Like I said, that's the whole thing. It's like so simple, but it is what it, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, as a human, like I said, 3D, 5D, and if you have, you know, your spiritual sort of connection, that too, right? And you know your purpose. But your purpose was already there from birth. So God knows your purpose too. So once you're on your purpose and God knows your purpose, that's where the clairvoyant energy kicks in. You know? It's cool, man. So anyway, I hope this helps. You know, super cool little gift that we're given. You know what I mean? Like I said, provisions, you know? Like, it's another extension of a gut feeling, but there's levels to this, right? Like, your intuitive abilities are just like limitless, I promise you, you know, and we're gonna go over them. You know what I mean? I'm gonna share them all with you from all different angles, you know, so that you can put them into practice, like I always say, right? So, yeah, like I said, guys, operate in the energy of light, you know what I mean? You know, always have a positive foot forward, you know, and then when you're in that sort of, like I always say, like when you're in that sync, right? Have a positive and optimistic outlook to your day, to your week, to your month, right? And then, like I said, when you have those intuitive feelings about, like I said, a concerning future idea, a goal, you know, a loved one, an ancestor, you know, like I said, a decision, a choice, in a healthy way, you know, as they say, pay attention to the signs, you know, pay attention to the signs, and, you know, try to meditate, find a healthy, you know, routine where you're able to, like, you know, like I always say, like, decompress and get yourself, you know, into the frequency where you can sort of, you know, tap in and activate, you know, these wonderful abilities, right? This is just one of them, but, you know, that's the state that you want to be in when you're, you know, when you're in one with the universe. You know what I mean? You got to really be conscious about this stuff and really kind of levitate to get, you know, the benefits of it, right? So I hope this helps. I hope you guys learned a little bit about clairvoyant energy. Like I said, a discernment quality that is, you know, super rare, but once developed, very, very beneficial for everyday practice, okay? So I hope this helps, and I'll see you soon.